welcome back to my channel. My name is Patty if you're new here, and this week's vlog is going to be a monthly reset. We're resetting for the month of June, but I wanted to start by just kind of like taking you guys through my morning, and then we'll get into the whole like life reset a little bit later after I shower. But I've been bit by the running bug again, so I've been running. This will be my third run of the week. No. Of this week, this will be my second run. I run Saturday, so that was for like last week, and then I ran Monday. I'm running today, and then I'll run again on Saturday. I only really drink energy drinks when I'm running. I feel like these just get me through my workout, and it's always these ones. This isn't sponsored or anything. I've been getting these since maybe like 2 years. They sell them at Costco, and like sometimes they don't always have them. Not my favorite flavor. I prefer the tropical punch one and the cherry one, but this one's okay too. The grape. It's kind of a bad habit, but I feel like it just fuels me for my runs, and these have less caffeine than like Alani Nu's and Celsius. Still going strong with my no scrolling for the first hour of being awake. I'm also gonna have half a honey stinger. I'm only planning to run 3 or 4 miles today. It depends on how I'm feeling, to be totally honest. Usually I'm very like, I'm gonna run this many, I'm gonna run this many. If I was running 3 miles, I probably wouldn't eat anything. But on Tuesday, not Monday, that's when I ran. Was it right? Yeah, on Tuesday when I ran, I was planning to run 3 miles, but then my period cramp set in, and like I couldn't do it. If they start before a run and I start my run with them, I usually can push through. Or like if they start before my run and I can take like an ibuprofen or something, but they set in mid-run and it was just like no go. So I cut it off at 2 miles. I'm not training for anything, so it's like, anyways, I'm just gonna eat half of this and then do my morning journaling while this digests a bit, finish my energy drink, and then run my 3-4 miles for the morning. Okay, so I had my breakfast while my camera was charging. I made an element because you guys saw I was super sweaty after that run. I ended up doing 4 miles, but I did the first, well, it was a little bit over because I did like 1 point, I guess I should just pull it up. My cramps did set in again, but I was able to run through them and they went away. But I did 1.19 miles, and it was saying that my average pace was 10:38, and I didn't believe that. I know I need to like become detached from pace,
But I was like, that just like cannot be true. And so I ended it and started another run and then ran 3 miles. And then with that one, my average pace was like 9:40, which I still wasn't happy with, but I'm like, okay, that was like more true. And I just didn't believe what that first one was saying. But overall, it was a good run. I did feel good during it. And I honestly felt like I could have kept going, but like I'm trying to pace myself with my runs. If I am going to continue running regularly, I know I get in moods and like phases. If I'm not training for something, like I'll like running and then I'm like, whoa, I miss lifting. And I still was lifting this week as well. So I told you guys the days that I ran, and then I also did an upper body day on Monday, and then I did a lower body day yesterday. So I like the idea of 3 runs a week and then 1 upper and 1 lower, but that is 5 workout days. And I usually don't work out that much. It's just a lot on the body, especially 3 days of running. With one of those days being a long run, that is a lot of running. So when we get to like the June goals, I'm going to think a little bit more about that, but like what I want to do. I know I told you guys we're doing a June reset, a monthly reset. It's not June yet, it's May 29th, but by the time this video comes out, we will have already been through our first week of June, and I kind of want to get my month planned before we even start, because tomorrow Matt and I are planning to have a beach day, so I won't be home for the entire first half of the day, and then I'm sure the second half of the day I'm not going to want to be like resetting. And then Saturday I'm planning to do like a long run, I think just like 6 miles on the treadmill, and then just like enjoy the day. And then Sunday will be June 1st, so I want to have this all kind of like squared away in my mind. That's why we're doing it today. Before we jump into any sort of planning, I am going to respond to a couple of emails because I have a couple of things that are pending that I need to get back to. I have some brand selects to make. I don't get to do that very often. Usually I do receive PR, but I receive a lot of beauty PR. And so you don't often make selections for that because like you'll get whatever the newest launch is, or maybe they're just like introing you to the brand. So they'll send you a couple of items like bestsellers or like, you know, like the heavy hitters. But this is actually for a clothing brand. It's not a secret because I'm not doing like a partnership or anything with them. It is with Banana Republic Factory, which is so cool. And I'm almost certain that I got on their radar because of this denim jacket that I wore, which is from Banana Republic Factory that I got as a Christmas gift. So in my head, I'm like, this is made possible by my brother and sister-in-law because they gifted me that. It was on my Christmas list, but they got it for me. And so I'm really excited about that. I was looking through the items yesterday and I just need to narrow down my selections and then send that over to them. And then I also have to make a selection for a fragrance brand that I can't talk to you guys about. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And then we'll jump into planning for the month of June because I have quite a few brand partnerships that I know I'm gonna have to film this coming month. I think 2 of my deadlines are actually next week. And I don't have the products yet, so that'll be interesting. I can already think of 3 off the top of my head that I have for next month, which is really exciting. I am really grateful for these opportunities. I know that I need to like actually schedule those out in my calendar so that way I can just like keep myself on track. And I also kind of want to plan some fun stuff in my calendar as well, and then we'll get into goal setting for the month of June. And I also kind of want to do a little bit of like a mid-year check-in on our yearly goals. So we will get to all of that. And then around 1 or 1:30, Matt and I are gonna work together and I need to finish editing this week's video. So a lot of being at the computer, but with my run this morning, I'm already at like 8,000 steps. So I feel like, okay, I can spend the rest of the day just sitting. Although I should try and get up and move so I don't get stiff. quick little check-in. I was just jotting down some video ideas for all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and kind of planning when I would post what, specifically for the YouTube videos because those require a little bit more planning. I've been trying to be more intentional. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've been trying to be more intentional with my YouTube videos and have each one have a little bit more of a theme rather than just being like every single week, a few days in my life. Like essentially that's what they are, and they are all vlogs, but like a couple of weeks ago we had the pack and prep with me. Last week we had the reset with me after a trip. This week, this vlog is like all about resetting for the month. I do have on there that I do want to do like a weekend vlog, but I want it to be like a feels like summer, and I'm just gonna film on a weekend where if I like go to the beach or like whatever, I feel like I'm trying to prioritize fun, and I really want to create a summer bucket list. So I encourage you guys to do one as well, just like things that you want to do or accomplish this summer. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit later too, but I feel like that even could be its own video. And then I want to do a summer morning routine. I just feel like when there's more sunshine and like the sun rises earlier, it's also hotter earlier, my routine shifts just a little bit. I know we are still dealing with the June gloom, but that is my idea for the week of the summer solstice. And if there's anything you'd like to see from me, either here on YouTube or even on TikTok and Instagram, let me know. At the end of the day, am creating videos for you guys, so I always love to hear what you guys specifically want to see. I did also jot down some ideas as far as like what I would want to post on TikTok and Instagram, but that usually like I'll come up with those on a weekly basis because it just like depends on what I'm doing that week or, you know, in what way I'm like feeling inspired. Right now though, I am gonna step away from my computer and my notebook to do a little bit of filming. I'm gonna film like a no makeup routine. The other day, one of the TikTok besties commented that like she always tries to do a no makeup look and it ends up turning into like a full glam or like a full beat. And so that gave me an idea for just like walking you through a no makeup look. And then I'm gonna film a coffee video because before I head out, I'm gonna make iced coffees for one for Matt and one for me. And I think we'll touch on June goals later tonight, and we can do that in bed. We can be like nice and cozy and talk about goals for the month, as well as do a little bit of like a mid-year check-in on my yearly goals. I'm like nervous to go through those and see how I've been doing with that, but also exciting. It's just like a good opportunity for all of us to kind of like look back on where we were mentally in January and like how have things changed, whether, you know, like are those goals even still aligned with what we want right now. So we'll do that a little bit later because like I told you guys, around 1:30 I really need to finish up this week's YouTube video, which is almost done. So I won't be like last time where I was working on editing that for like 7 hours. Hello, you guys. It is June now. It is officially June. It is June 2nd, but we're finally gonna talk about our goals and intentions for the month. And I thought we would sit down together. This is a new setup for me. I don't think I've ever sat here and chatted on the vlog. I wish I had like a little sitting area in my room, but I have a small room. Anyways, grab yourself a snack, a drink, put me on 2x speed, whatever you need to do, because this is gonna be an extra chatty portion of the video. I will say, so yesterday I showed you guys I was journaling. I was doing a little bit of like a monthly reset. I did do that on June 1st. So I wrote down all these June goals, June intentions yesterday, but then I spent the day with my mom. We went to the mall and did a bunch of returns. I didn't vlog it. I didn't feel like picking up the camera this week. On Friday, Matt and I had our first beach day. So that kind of happened between me starting this video and then now at this point. I kind of just wanted to enjoy the weekend without picking up the camera. I feel like we're gonna do a lot more fun stuff throughout the month that I'll definitely be vlogging. But like I said yesterday, my mom and I went to the mall and we were on a mission doing returns. And then in the evening, Matt and I got some froyo and
Today he and I were running some errands. I had some work to do, so I was doing some work. It's a Monday, so like I did my morning routine and I filmed that for TikTok, and then I had some computer work to do, and then I had to film at Ulta for a brand partnership, so he also had to do an errand. So I was like, why don't we go together and then we can go and do this and like kill two birds with one stone. But anyways, let's jump into the goals. I feel like it's gonna seem like a lot, as you can see here, but a lot of these, it's like, you know, every month I have like my movement goals, my workout goals, and things like that, habits I want to work on. So let me just stop the extra chatter. I'm just gonna jump into it. So starting with some habits that I want to work on. The first one is no phone for the first hour after waking up. And this is something that I started working on last month, and I stuck to it every single day of May. It was hard in the beginning, and then it got easy peasy lemon squeezy, it became second nature. And then like the last week or so, it got kind of hard again. Like I was itching to scroll, and I caught myself on 2 different days clicking. One day it was the TikTok app and one day it was the Instagram app. I tapped on the app and I realized what I did right before it could like open up, and it still showed just like the TikTok and like the Instagram thing. And I immediately closed it out and like swiped out, exited out the app. But it's been hard the last couple of days. Especially like on the weekend, this last weekend, I was like, I just want to scroll in bed before waking up. And I'm like, no, Patty. Like I feel like I have like an imaginary spray bottle to myself. And I'm like, no, we're not doing it. I'm gonna make things even harder for myself and try to work on no phone for the last 30 minutes before bed. So that one is gonna be really difficult. I feel like the no phone for the first hour, it's hard. Like I said, like there's some days where it's harder than others, but especially when I wake up at 5 o'clock, like anytime before 6 o'clock, it's even easier because that first hour, it's like, you know, no one's online. People are online. There's things to scroll through, but like I don't have emails to respond to. I don't feel like I need to post anything yet, because usually I'll post around like 8 a.m. on Instagram and TikTok. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on that, and no phone for the last 30 minutes before bed. That's gonna be a hard one. I have a certain running goal for the month of June. I've been running recently again, as you guys saw at the beginning of this video. I'm not gonna share the number. I'll tell you guys at the end of the month what the goal was and whether or not I hit it, but I'm not gonna share the number because I don't know where I'm at in terms of running. Like if this is something that like I wanna keep doing. And you guys know I've shared before that like I can be a bit intense when it comes to running. Like once I do it, I'm like, okay, I'm running 3-4 times a week and I want to train for a race. So I have things cooking in my brain that I don't want to put out yet, but I have like run X amount of miles in the month. In conjunction with that, I have 4 workouts weekly. I don't want to do any more than that because that will include the runs. And I'm trying to keep a balance of like running and lifting. I also have weekly tennis or pickleball. So at least once a week, I want Matt and I to make sure that we either play tennis or pickleball as just like a fun hobby thing to keep up with. And then 5 minutes outside daily. I have been pretty bad about this lately. I've been indoor, like the days that I'm working, which is like Monday through Friday. If I don't go out to run an errand, I don't step outside my house, and I have a backyard. Like I can go out there, and I'm saying 5 minutes because that's doable. 5 minutes is all it takes for me to be like, okay, I've been out here for 5 minutes. What's another 5? What's another 10? So I'm just gonna leave it at 5 minutes, and it'll probably be more than that. I wanna book a trip. I said in my last vlog that I don't think Matt and I are gonna go on another trip, but I think that we could. So I think it'd be nice for us to book a trip. I don't know, it doesn't need to be for the month of June, but I want us to book a trip. Like I want us to book it this month for some point in time. 8,000 steps a day. Last month I was really committed to 10,000 steps a day. I'm leaving it at 8,000 steps a day because of my running goal. And I know that my like overall weekly activity level is gonna be much higher because I'm gonna be running more regularly. Like last week I think I ran like 17 miles total. Okay, last week I ran 12 miles, but then 12.3 miles. But the Saturday before last week started, I ran 5. So like Saturday I ran 6 miles, and then I ended up getting like 17,000 steps. And I don't want my weekly average to be too high. So 8,000 steps a day. 2 beach days. Matt and I had our first beach day of the season on Friday.
would love for us to be able to go to the beach twice, even if one of those is just like to go watch the sunset. So maybe like one sunset beach day, which is just like a little, like a beach snack, and then like an actual beach day where like Friday where we like we brought all our stuff, we had food and everything like that, and just like spent a couple of hours at the beach. 2 friend hangouts. I feel like I was a really bad friend last month, and this is something that comes up every month with the goals in terms of like I always will write down in my monthly goals, like I want to do this many friend hangouts. I actually don't know if I did that for my May goals. And maybe that's why I didn't put it out into the universe. That wasn't an intention that I had leading into the month of May. Let's see. You guys, I didn't put a friend hangout goal. And if you guys watch my vlogs, you guys know almost every month, because clearly I didn't last month, I almost always have X amount of friend hangouts in the month. So clearly that wasn't top of mind, and it showed. And I want to change that. So 2 friend hangouts. Linda, if you're watching this, we're hanging out this month. And like there are other people where I'm like, yeah, we need to do this. And like I know that I need to like be the one that like, okay, like this day, this time, are you free? Let's go get coffee. Let's go do this. Let's go to Pilates, whatever it is. We need to make it happen. Also, I would like to spend more time with my nieces and nephew this month. And again, that's on me. I need to say, hey, are the kids free this day? Can I do this with them? Can I take them here? Can I go over? Whatever it is, I need to do that. And again, it wasn't top of mind last month. Last month was really like, what happened? I know that I had my trip and there was Mother's Day, so I feel like there was all these things that were like clouding my mind to where like I knew that a couple of weekends were already taken by things. I knew, oh, I'm gonna see family this weekend. I know, oh, I'm gonna be out of town this weekend, so I can't hang out with friends. And so it was just like, my priorities were different last month, and that's okay, but we're reshifting the priorities this month. I also always have like some work goals, and I usually don't share like my numerical, I'll have goals for like, oh, I wanna hit this many followers on this social platform or whatever, and I usually don't share the numbers with you guys, but I feel like maybe I should just like let you guys know. So my goal for TikTok is 50K. And like, this has been a goal for a minute, and I think I just need to like say it out loud. And so I feel like we can make it happen. I'm almost at 40K. And so what's after 40K is 50K. And so I'm shooting big. So 50K. We are so close to 6,000 here on YouTube, and that would just absolutely make my month. I have faith that we're gonna hit 6,000, and I can't wait to celebrate that with you guys. So 6,000 on YouTube and 3,000 on Instagram. Instagram is the hardest for me to grow on. I feel like I haven't quite cracked the code. I'm trying different things. I'm trying to see what sticks. And I'm on there, and I post almost every day, and I'm trying to be more strategic, and I'm trying to pay more attention to like what's working, what's not. And so it's the slowest to grow. We're manifesting it. And then I would like to sign 3 new brand deals this month. And so usually like a brand deal that would get like squared away and signed this month, it would be for next month. June is really busy work-wise, and I'm like so grateful. I cannot even put it into words. I can't. And I feel like in the last few weeks, a lot of things really like aligned in a way that kind of blew my mind. And I was talking about it with Matt. Like, I think I was with him when I got an email from like a dream partnership. And I was like, what is going on? And so I really would just like love to keep this momentum going. And we'll see what new opportunities this next month brings. I am really picky when it comes to the partnerships that I take on. I wholeheartedly believe in the brands that I am working with right now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really grateful to be able to say that. Moving on. I also want to watch 8 movies. I feel like I wasn't that good about watching movies last month. I barely met my goal of watching 5 movies. And some of those were rewatches because I rewatched the Twilight movies. And usually I feel like it makes sense with the goal. It's like, oh, if you weren't able to reach this goal, maybe for next month you like keep it in there, but you kind of like lower it. I'm the opposite. It's like, okay, I couldn't watch 5 movies, or I could barely watch 5 movies. Now we're upping the ante, and you really need to step it up. So watch 8 movies, and then I want to read 3 books.
I'm gonna be spending more time outside. I should at least be reading out there. That is it for all of the goals that I have. I do have some intentions that I wrote down as well that I'd like to share with you guys. Also, please let me know your goals. I want to know what you guys are working on. I asked you guys on Instagram what intentions you're setting for the month of June, and a lot of people shared that they want to be more physically active. So if there's anything that you guys need or want from me in terms of like tips or advice or anything, let me know. I am happy to share that. Just like let me know what you want to see. I'll roughly go through the things that I was kind of like reflecting on and journaling about for my sort of like month reset recap. And so the first thing was like the highlights of May. And so I kind of wrote down different things that really stood out to me. And one thing that I wrote was that May just felt like so like full of so much joy and sunshine. May was just filled with a lot of things that I feel like filled my cup in a lot of ways. And then my intentions for June. And so I know I shared my goals, like I said, but I feel like intentions are a little bit different. It's kind of your goals reworded in another way. Some of it might just be your goals. Like maybe one of your intentions for the month is like more physical activity. And the way that would be translated into a goal is, okay, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week, you know? So I'll just run through my intentions. Some of them is more time spent outside, more time reading, more time with friends, beach days, embracing spontaneity, putting my everything into my work, and being more intentional with that. So I just want myself to be like a little bit more thoughtful and like strategic, and I put like feeling more creative. So less time online, less time scrolling. These are also things I wrote down that all kind of like feed into each other. And you guys know I love to do a word of the month. So the word of the month for June is shine. Like I said, let me know your goals, let me know your intentions, but if there's one thing you want to share with me, let it be your word for the month. And if you have made it to this point in the video, I know it's a really chatty one, leave me a sparkle emoji for shine. That way I'll know that you made it to this point in the video. And like I said, leave me your word. You're welcome to use shine as well. I feel like this whole first week of June is supposed to be sunny. And so I don't know, I've just been really loving being in the sun, shining. I feel like I have been shining from within. Like I just feel like something in me has shifted in the last like month or so. And I don't know, something about that word resonates right now. So shine. I also told you guys that I wanted to do a reflection on the year so far in terms of yearly goals. And I know we've been here chatting for a long time. I hope you brought yourself a snack or something. I did mention that I wanted to do a little bit of a yearly reflection, a mid-year reflection, just kind of like going over the goals that I had set at the beginning of the year and seeing how we're doing with it, because I feel like it's nice at like halfway through the year to kind of like go back. Do those goals still resonate? Are we being consistent? If that is something we still want to work on and we're not doing so hot, what can we do better to achieve that? And I think it's interesting to do, like I didn't reflect on these yesterday. I think it's interesting to do after having already set my goals for the month of June, because we can see, oh, you're still kind of working towards that, or these goals, I can see how these are, you know, working towards this overall yearly goal. So anyways, this is the journal that I was working through in January 2025. Okay. Read 30 books. I'm checking my Goodreads because we're like nowhere near that. But I think with our goal of reading 3 books next month, we're gonna get there. I only read 1 book in the month of May. I did really like it. It was the new Emily Henry book. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars, honestly kind of 4.5. Okay, so I have read 5 books this year. That's 1 book a month. I'm on track to read 12, which is quite far away from that goal of reading 30. If I do read 3 books this month, that brings me to 8. Then I would need to read 4 books. More than 4 books for the rest of the month. So we'll see. I'm not gonna change the goal yet, but we're not doing great in terms of reading. I have on here save X amount of money. I'm not gonna share the total, but I have surpassed that. And so I'm proud of myself for that. The next one is buy yourself a nice bag. I have not done that yet, and I don't think that I'm at a point where I've reached a milestone where I feel like that's justified quite yet, but we're getting there for sure. Travel to 2 new places,
Have not done that yet. Went to Palm Springs, not new, but there's still time. And I told you guys I want to book a trip. So something I'm going to have top of mind is that trip be somewhere that we haven't been before. Spend more time with friends. Last month didn't do so hot, but I do feel like over the last few months I have been better with that. Watch 100 movies. We're getting there. I'll tell you how many I've watched thus far. As of today, I've watched 43. If I watch 8 in the month of June, we'll be at 51. I think I'm on track to watch 100 movies. Although I will say, I think that I might cancel my stubs after The Materialist comes out in June and then like wait and then renew it, because I feel like there haven't been that many good releases, and like, if I'm being totally honest, I won't just go watch anything just because I have the stubs. If I don't feel like watching it, I won't go. And Matt also has stubs, so we were like, we're movie buddies. Pick up a new hobby. Haven't quite done that yet, but I feel like I've renewed my love for tennis. I know that I had a particular hobby in mind though with this goal, and I haven't picked that new hobby up. The next one, I'm not gonna share. I feel like I am working towards it. It's kind of like a big goal. The next one's a little bit amorphous, be more intentional with my time. And I do think I have been, especially over the last month. I think I've been more conscientious of not just sitting around at my computer, waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to come in. Nurture friendships, 2 friend hangouts a month. I didn't do that last month, and it wasn't in the monthly goals. So I think that's something I'm gonna do when I'm setting my monthly goals, is like look at my yearly goals as I set them to see like, how is this helping me reach my overarching goal? Like, how is this helping me be the person that I said I wanted to be in the year of 2025? I have a running goal on there. I don't know how I feel about it. Am I reassessing? I don't know. Maybe you can guess what it is. But it's interesting because we have the running goal for the month. So maybe we're working towards that. I don't know. Only time will tell. Go camping. I feel like the summertime is a good time to go camping. Haven't gone camping yet. I didn't want to camp in the wintertime. There wasn't time to camp in the springtime. Less overall screen time scrolling. I think I've been better about this. My Sunday, you know, when it tells you your screen time, it has been lower. I think I've been more intentional about my time on my phone, especially with the new habit of no phone for the first hour of bed, and then now with no phone for the last 30 minutes of the day. That is gonna be hard, you guys. I let myself scroll. We'll see. But I think I've been more intentional there. And this last one I really have not been good about is write for 10 minutes a day. That one I just let fall to the wayside. And that is something that I really wanted to work on this year. And I know that I have some sort of emotional block there. It's come up in therapy to where I've been like, I know I have something there and we should unpack that, but I need to actually find a new therapist. So you know what? I'm going to put that as a goal for June, because my therapist is basically breaking up with me. She's no longer going to be doing her private practice. So I need to find someone new. Find a new therapist. That's like a practical goal. And I'm turning 26 in August. So, you know, the insurance of it all. Anyways, not your guys' problem, my problem. And then my word of the year. Oh, wow. I feel, why is that like I'm not gonna cry, but it's making me look a little bit. Look, some emotions are coming up because I feel like it's happening. But the word of the year is evolution. I don't remember if I shared that at the beginning of the year with you guys, but the word of the year is evolution. And I have like a little blurb here that I wrote myself, and just kind of like reading through it, I think it's interesting that just like the way things are unraveling and the way it is quite in line with everything that I had written out. But anyways, again, share with me your goals for the month. If you have anything from the year that you want to share, feel free to share that with me as well. Like, how are you doing? Clearly there's areas where I can improve upon, and there's also areas where it's like, okay, yeah, you've been sticking to that. I think that resolutions and goals often get a bad rap, but I love setting a goal. I love a resolution. I don't call mine resolutions, but like goals, intentions, habits, just kind of like these things to work towards and aspire to. I think they just help to keep us motivated and help to just keep us going, you know? And what's the harm in that? It's the next day, you guys, and I'm honestly in a pretty mood. Am I allowed to say that? It's really gloomy today. The last couple of days have been like sunshine, beach, bro-yo, errands, accomplishment, and then I woke up today, no sun, gloom, June gloom. It was supposed to be sunny all week, and I know I say this every time it's gloomy, literally wilt like a flower. I have a Leo stellium in my birth chart, and I'm certain that's why I am so affected when the sun doesn't come out. I do see now the sky looks blue. It's incredibly cloudy. It is 12. I just had my afternoon coffee because we need to kick it into gear. I have been doing things. I woke up at 5:30. I worked out. I actually just walked. I didn't run. I was supposed to run today, but I've been having this pain in my lower back. Honestly, it's been a few months and it flares up every now and then. And recently, like the last couple of days, it is going down to my leg. And I also feel it a little bit in my abdomen. I am typically the type of person to like override my system and just push through. And I know that's not a good thing. And I was getting ready this morning to run and I was like, I don't feel quite right. It was bothering me yesterday. It wasn't bothering me as much today, but I was like, I feel like it would be in my best interest if I didn't run with this weird feeling right now. I also scheduled a doctor's appointment last night. It's not for a couple of weeks, but I just walked. So I walked and did some stretching and foam rolling and then showered, got ready. I've been doing some like admin work on my computer and also like my bedding. I washed my bedding. It's in the dryer now. So like I have been doing things. I'm just in a crappy mood. But I have things to put away on my chair, so we're gonna do that. My desk is also a mess. I have a bunch of receipts on there from like the shopping I did from my trip and then the returns that I did, so I need to sort through that. And we're gonna see what else we get into as far as like cleaning up and tidying as we head into this new month. I'm gonna bring this all to my bed. It's been some time. We're clearly in the bathroom now. I did a little bit of filming. As you can see, I have a little bit of makeup on now. So I filmed 2 videos and then it's raining. There's thunder. I don't know what's going on. Weird day, weird weather. But I am in the bathroom because I want to clean my makeup drawer. I don't even want to show you guys. I will film it. It is like the stuff in here is all old, or I stopped throwing things in here a couple of months ago because I was like, I can't throw my PR in here. So like I don't even put PR in here anymore. I have that all organized in other places. The makeup that I use on an everyday basis is in my room in that desk drawer, which you guys have seen before. I know I've showed myself organizing that before. That's small potatoes, you guys. This is really like the disaster. This is one makeup bag I have right here. Just a bunch of random crap. And I need to just like clean this out so that this can become like, I don't even go in here to grab things to like, I have perfectly good usable makeup that I could rotate through, but it just overwhelms me to the point that I don't even like to touch this drawer. I never open it. And the other day I was doing that shade twin trend video and I went in here again today because I was doing the shade twin trend concealers. And so I wanted to grab more foundations for the video and also more concealers for the video. And when I went in here, I was like, we need to do something about this now. And what better time than now at the start of a new month. So I guess I'll show you guys the beginning. And then I'm just gonna work my way through it. It's like 4:30 right now. Here's the before. Just chaos. We have some boxes, we have some empty boxes, we have random brushes. This is like a backup of a product that I use regularly. This shouldn't even be in here. I don't keep fragrances in here. So like, what is going on? But I know that it's in here because I reach for this when I get ready for workouts. Like, nonsense. Also, as a quick disclaimer, if I'm throwing things out in here, it's because it's expired, old, whatever. I'm not throwing out any perfectly good makeup. I can guarantee, like this, and I probably won't even throw this out. I got this in high school. This is over 10 years old. I should throw it out. So just so you know, there is some very old makeup in here. Like this, I'm just gonna throw out because it's mascara and I have no idea how old it is. Just want to preface with that in case you see me throwing out a lot of stuff. I don't think I'm gonna throw out that much stuff, but like this I got probably like 7 years ago and it broke me out. Why did I hang on to it? I don't know, but I did. My camera died, but here is the final product. I didn't end up having to throw out that much stuff, which I'm happy about, but I'll walk you through what I have going on here. So this is all complexion, skin tints, some foundation, some concealers, everything that has been opened and used or at least sampled, like swatched, but actually everything in here, these two have only been like swatched and used once, but everything else has been used. Primer, setting spray, loose powder. These are all Laura Mercier powders. These are all blushes and cream bronzers and powder bronzers. Very old. Like this, I should have thrown this out, but like this I'm pretty sure I got in high school. This is very old and I contemplated throwing it out, but I feel like it's kind of a memento. Does Cover FX even exist anymore? I don't think so. I have a little bit of a hard time parting with things. This is from the Dose of Colors and then Desi and Katie collab. Never throwing this out. This Hula bronzer is the first Hula bronzer I ever bought. Old. Okay, I'll put that back later. These little sponges that I love, I get these off Amazon. I'll link them in the description. I was such a snob about beauty blenders for the longest time until about a year ago when I tried these. I have extra brushes in here. These are all of my palettes, which are all incredibly old. Should they all probably be tossed? Probably. I'm not gonna do that though. In here, I have all lip products that I found in here, and then here are some like, you can't see that little bag in there. There's like eyeshadow sticks and things like that in there. What is that? I think there's eyelashes in there. Some unopened PR, oh no, some unopened backups. This is a foundation brush I'm probably gonna give to my mom. Backup brow gels, and then shade 5 of the Milk Skin Tint. I think I'm ready to start using that shade. And that's everything. So I feel pretty accomplished.